There it is. Got your 355 small block Chevy. I built this unit around 5 years ago. Sitting on a dolly tucked away in the corner. Kind of forgotten about. So I built the motherfucker to, in case the engine in my truck fucked up, I'll have me a spare. But the engine in my truck still runs like a fucking champ. Ain't had a lick of fucking problems out of it. So I just ain't needed this one yet. So 5 years fucking later, and it's still sitting on a dolly. I just got it running last night, or yesterday. The fucking 850 double pumper I had on it ended up acting funny on me. Looked like it might have a base plate gasket fucking leaking. Something going on with it. Wouldn't idle down for shit. And it's running lean. So I pulled the carb off my truck. Old Faithful here. Stuck it on there. And it fired right up and run like a fucking thoroughbred fucking racehorse. It's about 9 o'clock right now. I wanted to make a video and start this son of a bitch up, but it's unusually loud. It's real fucking loud. And I done pissed off the whole fucking neighborhood earlier, trying to get the carb situation straightened out. And plus I was had a chapped ass for a minute there. At 850, I just need to put another kit in it and it'll be fine. But hell, I believe it sat longer than this engine did. But it's a good 850 Holly competition series from back in the 90s. It ain't got a whole lot of use on it, but it's got a whole lot of sitting on it. This fucking thing runs damn good. Fired right up and howls like a fucking wolf. But it is extremely loud. Now I looked around, I noticed people's curtains and shit moving, and had a crowd gathered under a carport a few houses down, just having to see what all the commotion was about. So the whole fucking neighborhood took notice. It's a loud son of a bitch. Sounds good. Big old Crower fucking cam in that bitch. It'll talk to you. This thing fucking revs to the moon. But it's 274. Fuck is it? 274, 278 at 50. 107 load separation. So it plays a mean fucking tune. It's a 627 lift with a 1.5 rocker arm. I think these are 1.6s. I think I got them on the intake side. See, it's been 5 years since I built this fucker. I've built quite a few since. Hard to remember all this shit. We got a notebook on it tucked away somewhere, but I got a whole little outbuilding full of fucking automotive literature, milk crates, fucking, I probably got 100 milk crates full of fucking books and magazines and manuals and every fucking thing you can imagine that pertains to engines and shit. I got a whole library, and fills up a fucking small outbuilding. So that's my library. But I also got it crammed full of fucking parts too. So you never have enough room. You know, I went from 20 years ago I lived, which I'm working class motherfucker. I ain't rich by no fucking means. Been poor more than I've been rich. But 20 years ago I lived in a 80 foot by, I think it was about 80 by 60 building. It's kind of like a warehouse. But we built cars in there. And there's an office and a shitter. And I put me a portable stand-up shower in there. And then I had a 86 Chevy van tucked off in the corner. And that was my bedroom. But I lived in that fucking shop for years, just building engines and drag cars all day, every day. Ended up bailing out of that place because the owner of the building was a fucking prick, and one of my business partners turned into a fucking drug addict and wasn't paying his way and shit. And it all just fell apart. So I move all my shit. Moving all my fucking parts, it takes about two 18-wheeler loads to haul the shit. So moved all my shit to multiple garages of people I knew and shit. And then I found a house to buy. Had a pretty nice size. It was about you could get 3 or 4 vehicles in there if you crammed them tight. But it was a cinder block building. It was an old school garage. So I relocated all my shit there. I was there about 15 years or so. Then I hooked up with this chick and got married. Marriage number 2. And we ended up moving into this, it's a bigger house, but the fucking garage, it's a 1-stall garage. And I got enough shit to fill a 80-foot fucking building. So I got shit stashed every fucking where, and it keeps me stressed out. Plus I'm in the middle of the suburbs, so a lot of cop collars and assholes around here that are offended by horsepower. Where I was out in the country, and nearest neighbors, they love the shit, so had 0 problems. So I move all my shit out of there, and what I could get into this garage, and then I have shit still at that garage, and then I have shit at some of my relatives. I have a building there with shit stored in it. And then there's another garage I've had shit stored in for years that I don't even know if it's even still there or not. A bunch of blocks and shit. So never have enough space for this bullshit. I mean, I got this fucking place crammed. It's fucking full as a fucking stuff like a Christmas turkey. Shit everywhere. Fucking shitload of blocks underneath the fucking bench. Fucking shit every goddamn where. Got this fucking shelf stacked full of cams and pistons and bullshit. And several rolls. There's 3 engines in that fucking corner buried over there. There's a fucking boat engine waiting for its turn. And there's the old 454 I gotta rip apart. But I ain't got enough room in here to fucking let a good fart. Hate it. Trying to find another house now with a large building. But the housing market's kind of fucked up at this point in time. $100,000 houses now cost $500,000. So, you gotta make the best of what you got. I guess it beats nothing. I don't know if I want to start this fucker up or not. Half of me says, fuck it. Go ahead and bust it out for a minute. Or the other half of me don't really feel like talking to the local fuzz about why I'm firing this loud sumbitch up this late at night. I might just wait till morning and wait till all the do-gooders are at church and shit and light it off. Make a little video in case anybody want to hear a rowdy small block Chevy. This fucker here put up G-body, properly set up. It'll put you in the tens, no problem. I hate to make horsepower claims because you got all your internet fucking experts out there that read somewhere that their cousin said, that their uncle said, that their brother said, and everybody's got a 5,000 horse fucking engine and shit, so, but I've built enough of these goddamn things, and I have had access. I've worked in 2 shops with dynos, and I had a fucking buddy that his dad raced pro stock fucking boats, and he had a dyno in his backyard. He was a coal miner. He was a smart dude. He's a machinist. He started a machine shop for coal mines and turned into a fucking millionaire overnight. So all he had to do was play with his fucking pro stock fucking drag boats. And he bought himself a dyno and built him a big ass building in his backyard to house it. And his son was one of my best friends, so I used to drag my shit over there and load it up, and we'd sit out there all night fucking with that shit. So I got a pretty good fucking idea what parts make how much fucking horsepower. You know, you want a 600 horse small block, I would tell you pretty much what parts you're going to need to get there. And there's only so many ways to build these fucking things, and shit ain't nothing new. Hell, they were doing it when I was a fucking youngster. It's just easier now because you can break out your fucking phone and get on the interweb and pretty much find any fucking thing you want. Where back in the day, you had to get a little more creative about shit. But nonetheless, these young bucks think everybody had 300 horse 350s back in the day, and you know, they're full of shit. They never been around a fucking drag strip, evidently. Jump in a time machine, go back to the late 70s, go watch some modified production class cars or super stockers or super modifieds, Econo dragsters. You see some fucking small blocks that make more power than most of these blowhards are today with their state-of-the-art brand new shit. And these are fuckers back then porting old fucking iron heads and shit. But people just put more effort into shit back in the day. Most motherfuckers now are lazy. That's why you got your big junkyard LS trend. You know, why build an engine when you can go to the boneyard and pull you a $300 LS and put you a $150 turbo on that motherfucker and be a king. But fuck that. I appreciate boosted power and shit, but in a way it's cheating. True test of a bad motherfucker is how much power does it make in a. And even more impressive is like you stockers and super stockers and shit. You got motherfuckers building 350s with 194, 150 valves and 041 casting heads, making 600 fucking horsepower with a quadrajet and shit. I find that a hell of a lot more impressive than the latest blowhard with his brand new AFR heads and his comp roller cam and shit, and lucky if he getting 530, 540 horse. So this shit ain't nothing new. But I will say this engine will put you in a 3,000 pound car. This engine will get you 10 50s in the quarter, about 130. If that gives you any clue to how much power it'll make. But I'm thinking about sticking in my old yellow truck and fucking daily drive this motherfucker. It's got pretty high compression, but I might convert it to run on E85 and run with it. Notice how that distributor's in there and it's perfectly timed. You point the rotor at the back of the carburetor instead of number one cylinder, and your distributor will fall in like that every time. These small blocks like anywhere from 32 to 42 degrees total timing, so point your rotor at the back of the carb and your distributor will be in there straight. It just looks better. And if all possible, run your plug wires under your headers. That looks a hell of a lot better too than having them all over your shit. But sometimes you have no choice depending on your headers, but if you can, run them underneath There it is. 355 small block Chevy.